There is more breaking news which is coming in. After the US targeted the Iranian ship, now you have Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh. He's spoken about it. He says that maritime domain has changed a lot in comparison. It is not only a medium of trade, but also of strategic dominance as well. In fact, the flashpoints being seen today might look like they are connected on the surface of it, but have their own different reasons and aspects. We need to understand all this and the situation in the Middle East, which needs to be looked at with great seriousness. Rajnath Singh, Raksha Mantri, also says what is happening here is extraordinary. So, Rabinder Sachdev, how much do we read into what Rajnath Singh has said? But before I come to you, let's listen in to the Raksha Mantri's own words.
और अभी चल रही मिडिल ईस्ट की स्थिति, इसका मैं मानता हूं कि एक ज्वलंत उदाहरण है। आज जो वहां हो रहा है वह बहुत ही असामान्य है। आगे चलकर मिडिल ईस्ट में या हमारे पड़ोस में परिस्थितियां किस दिशा में जाएंगी, इस पर अभी कोई कॉन्क्रीट प्रेडिक्शन करना कठिन है। आज हम सब एक बड़े परिवर्तन के दौर से गुजर रहे हैं। ग्लोबल लेवल पर तेजी से नई परिस्थितियां दिखाई दे रही हैं। सप्लाई चेन रीअलाइन हो रहे हैं। एनर्जी पाथवेज को लेकर नए इक्वेशंस भी बन रहे हैं और मैरीटाइम डोमेन में गतिविधियां लगातार तेजी से बढ़ रही हैं। पहले समुद्र को केवल ट्रेड का माध्यम माना जाता था, लेकिन आज हम स्पष्ट रूप से देख रहे हैं कि समुद्र स्ट्रेटेजिक डोमिनेंस का भी केंद्र बनता जा रहा है।
Well, we have more breaking news. Raksha Mantri has also spoken regarding the Strait of Hormuz, which more or less is now shut. It's not 100% shut. In fact, there are reports that Chinese ships there have been given a free pass. Well, we don't know the veracity of that news, but it's almost shut is what we do know. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh has warned of oil supply risk. He says Hormuz destruction can possibly hit the global trade, saying that the Middle East situation is getting more and more complex every day, that energy routes are under intense global stress. Listen it.
यदि हम स्ट्रेट ऑफ हार्मुज या पूरे पर्शियन गल्फ क्षेत्र को देखें, तो यह विश्व की एनर्जी सिक्योरिटी का एक अत्यंत महत्वपूर्ण क्षेत्र है। जब इस क्षेत्र में डिस्टर्बेंस या डिसरप्शन होता है, तो उसका सीधा असर ऑयल और गैस की सप्लाई पर पड़ता है। इन अनसर्टेनिटीज का सीधा प्रभाव इकोनॉमी और ग्लोबल ट्रेड पर पड़ता है। यह एक एबनॉर्मल सिचुएशन है, मैं ऐसा मानता हूं। व्हाट आई कंसीडर एज मोर वरिंग इज द फैक्ट दैट दिस एबनॉर्मलिटी इज बिकमिंग द न्यू नॉर्मल।
Well, let me go across to Mr. Sachdev. And the reason here why everyone's worried, Mr. Sachdev, and rightly so many would say, because the theatre of war is not just about missiles and drones being raised, but how the global markets are going to be impacted by it when supply chain, especially that of oil, gets hit. And as we were rightly pointed out by Captain Saxena as well, that's exactly where Iran is going, striking down at least 2 state-run oil refineries in Bahrain, in Saudi Arabia. Strait of Hormuz almost closed, not fully, but almost closed. It has had an impact. What is in India's best interest to do from here onwards? Rajnath Singh says times are changing and very fast.
In India's interest is to as rapidly, as soon as it can, build up something which I call as comprehensive nodal power. You see, for the past 100 years or so, the notion of the power of a country, a nation, the comprehensive power, military, economic, demography, your R&D, your talent, etc., used to be taught, is taught still in international affairs as a nation's comprehensive national power. The world of today, Rajnath ji was saying, he's saying we're heading into a new abnormal, right? The old normal is out. The world of today is a new world matrix which is under construction. The world order up till the year 2020 has started crumbling. COVID gave a shock to the world, then Russia, Ukraine, then Israel, Gaza, then Mr. Trump came along, and now this is happening. So the old order is crumbling, and a new order is under construction. And I define it as a matrix. Imagine a matrix, your viewers, like, spheres or nodes, and connected. So the supply chains and linkages which Minister Rajnath is talking about are these linkages. Supply chains, oil, for example, bandwidth, Captain here deals in that business. Okay, so there's a new world matrix which is under construction, and a nation is now measured by not only how much is your military and population and GDP, a nation is also measured by how effective is it networked or plugged into this matrix with its partners. And this is changing. So this is a new world matrix which is under construction. We have to build up our comprehensive nodal power where we sit in this whole matrix. And then a couple of things clear I would say we have to do. One, we could shift for 1 year to a 6-day work week. Many issues on that, working more days, but if only 1 year as an economic, let's say, economic emergency, 1 extra day a week would boost up our GDP by 2%. Korea, Japan, Taiwan were not built overnight through WhatsApp universities. Pardon the term, right? But we get it. Okay, we need to work hard. Atam Nirbhar, yes, we need to work hard, we need to build character of a nation. So that's one thing we have to do. I mean, it's for debate, I would say, national.
Right.
The second thing I would say, and I'll shut up after that, equally important, I feel, is to ban social media for children under the age of 15. Reason being, we say we will have a demographic dividend. We are the youthful nation energy. In 10 years, these youthful energies who are made zombies by social media will not be a productive, neither a healthy population. So to invest in our future, we have to ban social media for children under 15 and video games. Australia has done it, Spain has done it, France is going to do it.
Well, interestingly, there are already conversations happening in India's power corridors as well, whether there should be a ban, what should be the nature of ban, or at least a regulation which needs to be put in for social media, because we in the media have been facing this quite regularly, especially in times like war, and our channel is very credible, and we intend to keep that credibility by putting out only news which is verified. However, there are several others who are not very reliable when it comes to the quality of news that they are put out. There is disinformation which is being used, agendas which are being pushed, which I agree with you that there is stricter regulation that we perhaps need to look back. But Captain Saxena, coming back to what the Defence Minister said, and I find it very interesting, he says that there's been a disruption and an interruption in this region, and it directly implies the supply of oil and gas. But there's also strategic interest of India. For example, when it comes to the ship, which everyone's talking about, why was a warship struck down, torpedoed in India's sphere of interest? That is also something which has been a concern here about our strategic maneuverings.
Yeah. In fact, if you see, and more so this has in last 2 to 3 years, I think Mr. Trump has got a direct role in this in terms of, including some of these wars. So for country, it is very important that they become independent in terms of their war production units, right? So India has made many attempts, including Atmanirbhar Bharat and all, but I still feel there's a lot more has to be done in terms of, what is our total money which we are putting to defense production. How much innovation we are ready to bring into our thing, because the war of future is going to change dramatically.
Right.
From, boots on ground is changing to drones and missile. You are saying not even one person has moved into another territory, but whole war was fought. You take it like, 12 days war, you take it other thing. So we need to become a power, military power. You know why? Because today a country can be very good in terms of economically, it may have a lot of commercial resources, but till the time you have got a military might to boot it, to support it, you cannot be an independent nation. You cannot talk to other nation.
So you need that strategic leverage with your military, with your, of course, even the nuclear power. The fact that India is a nuclear power as well is going to be in India's own strategic interest, and which is why it was devised in this manner.